All right. We're good if you want to start us off here. We are hot and we are good, and now it is a minisode with Sushie. Go.
Hey, welcome back to the Everyone Sucks Here podcast with Sam, Sushie, and AJ.
You know,
how you guys doing?
I just want to say I appreciate both of you very, very much.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Why? What I do? What happened?
Well, I want to say that AJ, you do a really, really good job at producing this show.
I'm so annoyed.
Top tier.
You do a lot of work here, and I'm very, very appreciative of what you've done with the podcast for us.
Same. Big same.
You know, and without you, we really wouldn't be able to do this because honestly, you do a lot. And I'm just very appreciative of it. And Sushie, you're awesome because you always have the best poop stories.
This podcast wouldn't go on without the poop stories.
Also, you have a lot of patience when shit goes awry and we're over here.
I know. Sushie's really good about it.
We literally wasted an hour because I spilled a drink into Sam's keyboard and I was trying to get it fixed. It is not fixed. The keyboard is fucked. Maybe you can get it fixed later on, but literally I couldn't not try to get it fixed first. So we literally just haven't been recording for the last hour where we normally would have been. But Sushie didn't complain, so that's pretty cool.
Well, okay, she had to do her makeup anyway, so
yeah. And bitch about my job.
Yo, it's been a day, but for all three of us, but
we're having a day. Yeah.
But I think for this minisode, I'm excited to hear some stories from Sushie. It's Sushie's minisode.
Yeah. So I even did the Craigslist thing.
Okay.
I remembered all the things. I came prepared.
Hey.
I understand the assignment.
Good.
We're here. It's Minisode Monday. It's your girl, Sushie Monster. Oh, and I've been getting likes on my pinned tweet that's completely irrelevant. And I'm like, you all know the inside joke. Big ups to everyone who understands the inside joke.
There you go.
So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you are not caught up or you're listening out of order.
I'm pretty sure I even retweeted it on the Everyone Sucks Here Twitter account. So if you didn't see it, then what the fuck? Like it on Twitter.
I'm not going to spell it out for you. You need to go back and listen to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
My completely irrelevant wrong link pinned tweet.
We don't do recaps here. This isn't The Handmaid's Tale.
No. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Are you guys ready for my stories?
Totally ready,
yeah, ready.
Okay. Here we go. Am I the asshole for not wanting my best friend's girlfriend to come to my 30th birthday trip?
Oh.
Let's find out. Yeah. I love petty stories like this. I'm going on a cool week-long vacation to celebrate my 30th birthday, and I was excited to hear my best friend, sister, and brother-in-law wanted to come along with me. For context, I consider my brother-in-law to be a close friend, and he's not just a guy who married my sister. Sounds nice. Could it be me? But sounds nice.
Okay.
I would hang out with him just one-on-one. Once we started planning the Airbnb, my best friend corrected me, putting down 4 guests because he assumed he would be able to bring his girlfriend along on the trip, which he hadn't mentioned before. I don't have an issue with her as a person, but I don't consider her to be a close friend, just my best friend's girlfriend. I told him that I wanted to keep it as the current small group, and I didn't feel like the fifth wheel on this trip that was originally meant to celebrate my 30th birthday. I'm not dictating any other aspects of the trip, just the people who I wanted to invite. It's been about a month since that happened, and his girlfriend is still very mad at me. Me, my best friend, and his girlfriend live in the same building, and she will immediately walk away from me when she sees me outside and won't speak to me. The two of them think I was being selfish and that she should be able to come along since I'm not paying for everyone's trip and because I'm bringing my brother-in-law, even though they both know I consider him a friend. I think she's being entitled and can't wrap my head around why she feels the right to be included on this trip. This is my lifelong best friend, and it's causing a lot of tension right now. He's been dating this girl for roughly 1.5 to 2 years. Am I the asshole? Edit. PTO is coming up in a lot of responses. For context, he has over a month of PTO available, and it was his idea to increase the length of the trip after we had already spoken about his girlfriend not coming. What do you guys think?
I have so many questions. First of all, is the brother-in-law attending without her sister? Because
probably not, because fifth wheel. So it's probably his sister, the brother-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Okay. It's a long trip.
How many days?
A week?
I thought they said a month.
Oh, a month?
Didn't they?
Oh my God, we got a month.
You mentioned something about a month at the end of the trip, or at the end of the story, but maybe I misheard.
Oh, that's a rough one. I mean, it is your birthday, but like, if I don't like your fucking girlfriend, I don't want it to ruin my fucking trip.
I kind of want a little bit more detail on if it's like, does this person genuinely not like this girlfriend, or because like their reasoning was, oh, I don't want to feel like the fifth wheel, and I feel like people who say that are really insecure. You know, like it's like, oh, I don't want to be the third wheel, I don't want to be the fifth wheel, like. They're literally just insecure that they're not in a relationship, because honestly, if you're amongst friends, you shouldn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a concern for you. It shouldn't be like, oh, well, you know, because you have a girlfriend and I don't, you can't bring your girlfriend because then I would feel alone. Like, how petty are you?
But it also,
I get that I was gonna say, I get that it's their birthday, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I just feel that seems weird. I
think I don't know. I think they're covering up the fifth wheel thing with the whole like, I just don't like her.
But they didn't really state that. They just said, I don't really know her.
Yeah, but like it's their birthday, and it's not like a hey, let's go to Cancun and wild out. I think if it was just a group trip, it wouldn't matter, and they would be the asshole. But because it's for their birthday, and if they just don't, you know, they're ambivalent or whatever, it's like. It's for their birthday. So I could see it being kind of annoying. I probably wouldn't say anything, but I would just be annoyed. But let it like slide off my back. But I could see it. They were voted not the asshole. Also, it could be annoying, like feeling like you have to entertain someone else on your birthday.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it's a tough situation because, like...
for sure, it's tough. It's tough.
Because, like, I mean, like... One, I think she's pretty petty if she's holding on to this fucking grudge for this long. At that point, just fucking let it go and shut the fuck up. It's a
birthday trip. It's not like we're just going out.
But, like, I don't know. It's just, for some reason, the fifth wheel thing kind of struck a chord with me, I guess, because, like, it's hard
I feel that.
Like,
there might be something more to it that we don't know.
Because they didn't outwardly say what they don't like about this person. They didn't really say, like, they said that they don't really know them. Well, they didn't say like, oh yeah, you know, I'm not a big fan. She's a big racist, or you know, it's like there was nothing there that was like, oh, she's constantly petty and trying to get attention. There's nothing. It's like, okay, you just kind of said that like you don't really know her. Like you talked about how well you know the other person, but you don't really know her. I get that it's your birthday. You could technically use that trip to also maybe get to know her better. But at the same time, it's just, I don't know. It's just a weird situation. Like
it's a weird situation.
And like if I'm inviting like my best friend on a trip, I'm not going to be like, by the way, your girlfriend can't come.
Like, I would kind of assume that she would be coming along.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like it's your best friend, and like why even like, you could say like, oh, it's her birthday, but like why are you going out of your way to make it
issue? Weird, right?
Yeah, like you're making an issue when really it's like.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Reddit fucked up on this one. I kind of think she is kind of an asshole.
Someone sucks here.
Well, okay, so the thing is, like, I think she could have sucked it up. Honestly.
Oh, this is a girl. I totally misunderstood her.
Wait, was it a girl?
I don't really know if they said like a.
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
I just assumed it was a dude.
Okay, well, this person, I feel fucked up in the sense that, like, they could have gone about this a whole... I really do feel like you could have just sucked it up. Like, like what AJ said, if this is your best friend, like, it's kind of...
An assumption their significant other.
It's kind of assumed that you're going to bring your girlfriend with you. If my sister's coming...
For sure.
You know?
But I can also see the person being like, it's my party and I can cry if I want to.
Yeah.
I can see. So I think
but also those people suck.
Yeah.
I kind of tend to, but see, the only thing about like the other girl holding a grudge is it's kind of like, okay, well, you don't want to get to know me, and like you disinvited me from your birthday getaway. Like I would be a little upset too. So it's like, man, you know, how does she suck? Like, I can see how everybody would suck here, but also, like, how does she suck? Because her reaction to the event was, well, fuck it then.
Why,
you know?
Yeah, why be friends with
Why
this
be
person
friends?
if they don't want to be friends with me?
Exactly. Why even give them the time of day if they didn't want to give me the time of day?
Well,
you know?
and maybe I'm reading a little too far into this, but it also starts bordering a little bit on that. There's like this weird stigma with relationships and like where people will be like, oh, well, that's their husband and that's just your boyfriend, you know, like there's this big thing too, and it's true. Just because people aren't married, they don't treat the relationship like it's
real,
it's a real
relationship.
And it's like, if this is your best friend and it's their significant other, who gives a fuck if they're married or not? And again, that's me putting that on there. I could just be reading too far into that, but I do know people do that too. Where like they'll play that kind of card where it's like, it's just a girlfriend, but it's still their significant other. You know, like...
Yeah, but they've been dating for like 8 years, so...
Yeah, like I mean, and
I still don't know her.
By that logic, my stepdad isn't my stepdad because they've been together for like 30 years but not married. You know, like, it's like, at a certain point, you're just like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But like, I guess I could lean towards... Maybe everyone sucks here. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the OP is the asshole, though.
I just feel like it could be completely avoided
if
there was a little bit of less birthday selfishness and a little bit more empathy. Like, I feel like you could have just let it go.
And also with the birthday selfishness thing, I would expect that kind of behavior from a 20-year-old, not a 30-year-old.
Yeah, not a 30-year-old.
So
because at my big age, I wouldn't give a fuck. If I'm going to plan something for my birthday, I would probably assume that people would be bringing their significant others, and I wouldn't really care.
Yeah.
And because they care, I think maybe make it explicit, like, no, this is like a boys' trip or whatever. We're going to Vegas. We're going to wild out. Like, I don't know. But it doesn't sound like that's what the context is. I don't know. This whole thing's kind of weird.
Fuck it. Everyone sucks here. Just everybody. This is stupid.
We need like the Law and Order dunk dunk.
Oh, I can make that happen.
Everyone sucks here. Dunk dunk. Dun dun.
Oh my god. Okay, so I don't want to get too far off topic here, but did you know there's a new Law and Order show, right? called Criminal Underground or something like that.
Yeah.
A new Law and Order is necessary.
But wait. It's tied to it's SVU.
Yeah.
It's got characters crossing over, right?
It's got Stabler in it.
Because it's got like one of the guys from but it's called like Criminal Underground or some shit, right? But when they play the song, the da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba song, it's like this like military rock version now.
Yeah,
they're
it's
really,
super heavy.
Because he's like as opposed to like having like every episode be like, here's a new issue that happened. It's one of those shows where like he's trying like the whole season he's working on like one guy, you know, like so it's like one of those shows. But the music is so ridiculous because
it's got this like tuba thing in it.
Yeah, like it's as opposed to like the flute, it's like that da 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 da. It's like and like they're like really driving it home. Like this is, but at the same time it's like New York, so it's like okay, how can it be like New York but also like military? You know, like, weird like.
Nothing's metal like a tuba.
Yeah, it's like everything about it is ridiculous.
Let's just say that when it premiered, because I was like, oh, I'm really excited because it's Stabler, and I like Stabler, and I like where they're going with this. So I watched the first episode. I was not fucking prepared for that theme song. It started playing, and I was laughing my ass off. Like, what are they doing?
But it's like the same like you just need to hear it. It's just ridiculous sounding. Like it's yeah.
It's fucking great. Okay, we sidetracked, but there we go.
Okay. I think I found the weirdest misconnection.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know if it's technically a haiku, but it's kind of written like a poem.
Oh, okay. So they tried.
And it's nerdy.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. Where are we?
We're in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know why that's what I picked, but that's what I picked. It's titled Chaotic Neutral.
Oh, no.
Las Vegas Silverado Ranch. You were there with, hopefully just, a friend. We are both tall. You're proudly chaotic neutral. I was ready to adventure with my pack and do not want to face the dangers alone. Also, your friend had a neat D20 shirt. You ordered 2 bowls. While our paths may never cross again, I hope they will. That
fucking D&D nerds.
We're both tall. Like, what is tall?
Well, we know it's not about you two.
Wow.
What bowls? Bowls of what?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
When you said bowls, my immediate mind went to cereal, actually.
Oh, so. I immediately thought 2 bowls of weed.
Me too, because I think you can smoke in Las Vegas now.
Drugs.
Drugs. My brain went drugs. So that's where AJ and I differ. My brain went drugs, and his went Captain Crunch. Our paths may never cross again. I hope they will. That's my misconnection. Very weird, very nerdy, and written strangely.
You mentioned that you thought it might have been a haiku. Ever since I learned this one little like jingle song thing, I like can now finally distinguish haikus. For a long time, I could never distinguish them without just sitting there counting the syllables. But now I can like sing each haiku that I hear, and like I know if it's a haiku or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it, but that's the thing. I'm telling you.
I mean, it's definitely not a haiku because it's too long, but it's like written in some sort of like just the format. I'll link it. It's still it's not deleted yet. Yeah. I mean, it may eventually, but you guys can look at it. It's just written very strangely.
I just had an idea, and I don't know if I should share it, but I'm going to anyway. Right? Okay. So, Sushi, you might have seen these lately. I don't know if AJ has, but do you know how like TikTok and Instagram right now they're doing these things where they're like things my husband has said to me in inspirational quote format, and then they like what if we put these stupid Craigslist ads as inspirational quotes?
Yes.
I think that would be fucking hilarious.
That will be really hilarious. Yes.
I think I just found my TikTok fucking
your
stardom.
Niche TikTok. TikTok.
My TikTok. My TikTok neat. My TikTok neat.
Yeah.
God.
We do have to work on our content for Instagram and TikTok, so I think.
And Twitter.
Social
media in general.
Everybody's trying their best.
Yeah, we're trying our best. We're trying our best.
So hard.
Okay, that was
the mental and emotional bandwidth this year has not been top tier. So.
We just need to hire somebody unpaid.
This is an unpaying gig.
Yeah, unpaid that would like to do the social media, but also has to be as funny as us.
Right, which is hard.
Yeah, that's very hard.
So, Omega, where you?
Omega!
That was a good misconnections, though.
Yeah, that one was. God.
Like, that's a real misconnection.
What did you say it was again? Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah. Weird.
So the funny thing is when you were reading that, the way you were reading it, it gave me this weird, like, unlocked memory, like, flashback. I don't know if you guys ever had this, if this is just, like, fucking white suburban night dude thing. But, like...
Suburban night?
But, like, I remember occasionally getting into my grandparents' car on my dad's side, right? Maybe on my mom's side, too. I don't really remember. But like I remember for a while my grandparents they drove this. My grandfather had like a green truck that he used for work or whatever at some point. But there was like white Cadillac that like I hated riding in because I had leather seats in the back and it was really uncomfortable. To me, it was like in my memory it was gigantic also, but like it's just because of child memory. So like
gigantic though.
They are pretty big, but I remember distinctly the fact that my grandparents, and I want to say this probably on both sides, always listened to AM radio, never FM. They always listened to AM. So because it was always AM, it was always like talk radio.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. But like the way that Sushie was reading that just like gave me this weird like flashback vibe of like an AM radio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was something about, because like I remember like specifically like every time I've ever heard like AM radio stuff like as a kid, I never like really discerned there was a conversation. It always sounded like somebody was reading to me, like almost like when we listened to that fucking like Mommy Doomsday podcast. That guy,
yeah.
The way he was reading, it's very like they're reading a story, but not really. And I don't really remember anything they ever heard. I just remember being incredible. Not saying that you were bored. I just remember as a kid being incredibly bored by it because
it's like monotone.
Yeah, it's very monotone. But like the way you read it, somehow I was like, it just like unlocked these weird AM radio memories of me like sitting in the backseat of like my grandparents' Cadillac.
Boys, I like it.
But did you guys ever have like the grandparents that only listen to AM radio, or was that just me? Like I don't know. Like I don't know if you guys like.
Yeah, well, yeah, my dad definitely listens to a lot of NPR.
Well, actually, I was gonna say it's probably your parents because both your parents are older.
They're super old.
Yeah, so your grandparents probably didn't even know about radio.
My grandmother would listen to a lot of gospel channels, because most of the time, if I was riding with my grandmother, it was like we were going to church or like a church function. So she listened to a lot of like gospel channels or like people reading or talking about the Bible.
Your grandparents were always listening to the FDR stories.
My parents would every once in a while listen to news channels, but mostly my dad liked the country music channels. So he would listen to the country music channel or like oldie channels.
I have a very specific memory of telling my grandfather. I remember like getting out of the car and asking about what he was listening. Like I was like, how can you always listen to that? Like we never listen to like any music. He's like, and he's like, well, what would you like to listen to? And my only response as a 6-year-old was Metallica.
Like this, not Metallica.
And it was because the only song that I really knew at the time was I was really obsessed with fucking like
Inner Sandman.
Yeah. I was really obsessed with that song as like a 6-year-old kid because like it was the only Metallica song that I knew.
Oh my god.
Oh man, my grandparents hated me.
Fucking hell.
All right, what's your relationships?
I have a 2-parter.
Oh.
Buckle up. It's kind of long.
We're ready.
I recently found out that my 17-year-old brother. Nope, I read that wrong. The OP-17. I'm getting it together, all right? We're having a bad day. The OP-17, their brother's 19. Okay. So I recently found out that I got into my brother's former dream university, which he did not get accepted to last year, feeling guilty about really wanting to go now.
Oh, okay.
Non-romantic.
Okay.
So this is part 1. My brother, Mike, 19, for a long time had a dream university that he wanted to go to. I'm not quite sure when or why he settled on his choice, but from about the time he was a freshman, he was working into getting into this particular school. Unfortunately, he didn't get into the school, and he was really upset about it. Wow, neighbors, relax. He spent the better part of the month miserable, but he snapped out of it eventually. Mike went to his second choice university, which this year was ranked higher than his first choice and got particularly good recognition for the program he's in. So that's good. It worked out in the end. He had a really good year and loved it, made a ton of friends, and got really good grades too. This year, I was applying to universities, and I applied to Mike's old top choice. One of my teachers who actually never met Mike recommended it and really encouraged me to apply. I was hesitant at first because it was Mike's, quote unquote, Mike's school, but he's a lot smarter than I am. So I figured I wouldn't get in, and I applied to a totally different program from him. Okay, so he just didn't. He was just doing it.
Okay.
Just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Exactly.
Yeah. I didn't tell Mike or parents or anyone but my teacher, really, that I was applying. I recently found out I got in. At first, I was happy. I mean, it's by far the best university I got into, and all those years of Mike talking it up made me like it as well, I guess. But now I'm feeling guilty, I guess, for applying. It's like I'm stealing his dream or something. I don't know. I haven't told anyone I got in yet. I wanted to talk to Mike first about it, but my dad had to go away for work and he had a layover at the closest airport to the university. And Mike made this joke about the city being the town which must not be named. So that's a Harry Potter joke, and I'm having a stroke at the same time. He said he wouldn't take the other route, which was a layover 3 times as long in another airport, just to avoid being in that city. So he obviously still has feelings about it. Normally, I speak to my brother first about everything. He's the one I go to for advice, but I can't do that now. I do really like the university and I want to go, and I have to make the decision ASAP to sort out the housing and everything. But I'm worried that I'm going to affect my relationship with my brother. I don't want it to seem like I'm stealing his dream or whatever. So how should I approach him about this? Should I just tell my parents first? TLDR, older brother had a dream university that he's always wanted to go to, and last year he didn't get accepted into it and was very upset. This year I secretly applied after being encouraged from a teacher, and to my surprise, I got in. I want to go, but I'm not sure how to tell my brother this. So that's part 1.
Do we want to discuss before we do part 2?
We can discuss. We could discuss.
Okay, so I was just going to say, it's shit like this that makes me really just hate college and the whole college experience and the whole college idea.
Culture.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. And it's not the kids' fault. It's the pressure that's put on them by like, society.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, kids literally think, like, oh, if I don't get into this college, my life is over. Nobody gives a fuck what college you went to at the end of the day. Like, unless you are doing something so fucking specific, you are being like a doctor or a lawyer, you know, like these are like really highly professional things. At the end of the day, for the fucking shit ass degree that you're gonna get, like it doesn't really matter that much. It really doesn't. Right. And also,
you're gonna be 2 years later, like you're already in another school. Like, what are you gonna do about it? You can't like live your life for other people.
Yeah, like and this whole idea that one. Like, there's so many stupid things here. Like, and again, I'm not blaming the kids. It's not their fault for thinking this way because they're kids. But like, it's fucking stupid to get that upset about not getting into a college. It doesn't matter. And I wish more people would tell these kids that it doesn't matter. And I wish that they didn't build it up so much that it does matter. Yeah. Because the thing is, that's the whole problem is we drill it into them how important it is, then they don't get it, and then they're crushed.
Yeah.
But then you have situations like this where it goes, yeah, is this a girl or did they say?
I think they're brothers.
Are they brothers? Okay, well then this dude like gets into this and now feels bad because his brother didn't get in. It's like you earned this just as much, dude. Like just because you didn't get it, like or he didn't get it, like who gives a fuck?
It's 2 completely different programs. Like
does he own the school because he applied to it at some point in the past and didn't get in? So you can't. That means you can't go. Like works. You have a whole opportunity. Don't blow your opportunity because if he's really that mad about it, then he needs to work on himself.
And if your brother would get that mad about you going and doing something for yourself, then your brother's a piece of shit. Like
right. Unless he genuinely doesn't want to go, then. You know, whatever. You wasted the money in the application. Okay, whatever. I can't tell you what to do. But if you want to go, if it's something that you're interested in and you think it would be a good fit for you, he didn't get in and he's in another school that's better for him. So really, he just needs to get over it.
He does. Like, he's holding on to this thing, and he even, like, got into another school and is doing better, and he's having, like, he's got, like, it's not like this dude is homeless now just because he didn't go to he didn't go to Duke University. And, he's fine.
And what's...
He's a sophomore or something.
And what's with the idea of, like, this dream university? What's the dream about it? Is it the location? Is it the actual... Or is it the buildings? It can't be the fucking... like what you're going to learn if you're going to an arguably better school now, you know, like, so what is it that's I just really like the location. Who gives a fuck, dude? Like, you're going to college, you're going there to get a fucking piece of paper. That's what you're going to college for. If you're going for the experience, then you're a fucking idiot. Like, you can get, you can party anytime in your life. And it's going to be cheaper and better than a college party. Like, this is just, it's, what you are going to a better school, so who cares? Like, I just anyway. Let's hear part 2 before we get.
All right.
All right. Update. Recently found out that I, 17 male, got into my brother's 19 male former dream university, which he did not get accepted to last year. Feeling guilty about really wanting to go now. Okay, so this is the update. On Saturday, I was able to speak to my brother and tell him I got into the university. He was really happy for me, like a lot of people said he wouldn't be. No, he would. I can't read. I was petty off the bat. Oh, that was me being petty off the bat. Okay, he was. Okay. That was me. So he was happy. That's great. When I told him I got in, he gave me a huge hug and was really excited. It was a huge relief. I'm glad, because if he got actually mad,
right?
No, like, you need go to therapy now, sir.
Yeah.
He asked if it was my top choice since he didn't know that I applied. I told him it was, and he said that we have to celebrate then. That's nice. He told me I didn't seem excited enough and I should be really proud of myself. And he asked if it was a shock of just finding out. When I told him I found out a few days ago and he was the only one that knew, he asked me what's going on because I wasn't reacting to the great news like it was great news. I admitted that I was worried about telling him because I didn't want him to be mad. We talked about it and he basically said what everyone in the comments said, that he's proud of me and happy for me. I mentioned that I got into a different program than his and my requirements were lower, and he told me not to downplay my success and to stop worrying about him being mad because he wasn't. He told me that when I told him our parents wanted me to go be more confident and proud of myself because I did something great. Okay, that's good. So I guess he's just like really, maybe he's a people pleaser and was really shook that his brother would be upset.
That's a good fucking brother.
Yeah, that's a good brotherly thing.
Yeah. Yesterday, while we were hanging out at his buddy's house, he told me I should tell them the news. When I didn't want to because I hate talking about myself, he asked if he could tell them, which I told him was okay. They were all happy for me. Honestly, his reaction was better than I'd hoped for, but looking back, I should have expected it for him because that's always been the type of brother he is. I told my brother I got into the university. He's incredibly supportive and happy for me. He told me not to limit my success to make other people more comfortable and that he was proud of me, which meant a lot to hear. So I'm glad it had a better ending. And, you know, there wasn't any weird sibling rivalry or low-key attitude. That's good.
That's a good brother.
That's a good
brother.
Good wholesome ending there. Before we all riled up about the bullshit that is college.
Yeah.
But
I assumed it was going to go the petty route, and it didn't.
If anything can be learned from that, though, it is the fact that realistically, if you are applying to a college and you don't get in, it's not the end of the fucking world. Like, it is, we see a lot of things all the time about people who are reinventing themselves or going on a whole new career path and all this stuff in their 30s, even in their 40s, people change careers nowadays and shit. What you were doing at 18 to 22 doesn't matter at all. You might fall into the position that you want to be in for the rest of your life. That is very possible. But at the same time, you might just be getting a fucking degree in something and then moving on and doing something else. Who fucking knows?
I just... People, society as a whole puts this huge pressure on people in their, 18 to mid-20s. This is your make it or break it, and it's not. It's not.
Fucking not.
It's not. It can, like AJ said, it can be the moment that you do find the job that you fucking love and you do for the rest of your life, and that's great. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. You can change shit up at any point in time.
And you believe it or not, a vast majority, I would argue that the majority of human beings are not working their dream job. We're all just working a job to literally pay our bills, and that's it.
You don't have to have everything figured out when you're 17, 19, even 25, or I'm 35.
I would even say that, honestly, I would even say that having a job, you could argue that you could be working your job and you just haven't gotten things figured out yet. I don't think we should be wording it that way or looking at it that way anymore. I think it's one of those things, even that puts a weird pressure on now I gotta find it. People are eternally searching for the perfect job. They're always searching for that dream job that they don't know what it is yet, and you keep going for so long, and there you are, and you're I'm in my fucking 30s, and I'm I'm working a job. Is it my fucking dream job? No, it's not. It's a job.
And you're paying your bills. So
exactly. It's a good job. It pays my bills. And at the end of the day, if I sit there and if I continue to downplay and go, oh, well, it's not what I want to do, but it's what I'm doing. If I by just vocalizing that kind of shit and saying that, all you're doing is putting yourself down for no reason, making yourself depressed about something for no reason. Like, you're working a job, you're paying your bills, and you're in the same boat as literally everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, you take the free time that you have and you hopefully do what you want to do with that free time. But like, I really do feel like we gotta start or stop, I guess, like putting so much significance on like the job being your life, because it's not. And that's the biggest issue is people are like, go like, I have to do this because that's gonna be my whole life. No, your job should never be your life. Like, it can be if you want it to be. If you
like your company or like
exactly.
If it makes you happy,
and that's what I mean. Like, it can be if you want it to be. If you're truly passionate about something, but like
then
you should never.
But
have
if you're
to,
just like, I want to be a engineer. Okay, you go and you do your engineering shit and you fucking go home.
Yeah.
And like, and exactly. And the thing is, like, you should be allowed to just have your job, do your job, and go home and ignore that job for the rest of your free time. You shouldn't, like, that is not your life. Your life is a time outside of your job. Your life is a time where you're not fucking grinding from 9 to 5 or whatever your fucking hours are. And people just get so caught up on it because we live in a fucking capitalist society. But, like, it's depressing to see kids who literally get this down and depressed as a teenager.
Yeah.
Because
he's 17 and he's like worried about the university he got into. And
and
it's literally not on them. Like, he literally said that he should have known better because his brother's always been this way. But that's how much pressure there is on this kid that it would make him literally view his brother in another light.
Yeah, he was worried that his brother would not be happy for him and his choices and his accomplishments.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have mattered. I understand why he would be concerned, but it shouldn't have been an issue at all about his brother downplaying his accomplishments. And I think I'm glad the older brother had the right approach.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the good way to be an older brother. Like, like, you should never, like, that's the whole fucking point of being an older brother. Like, you're supposed to,
like, that's not the move. It's not the vibe. It's gross.
Yeah. But I'm glad that story had a good, wholesome ending.
It was look at me. It wasn't about poop.
Or big balls.
Big balls.
I'm changing. Am I growing?
You're always going to be 5'1".
All right, that's true.
Or whatever.
I'm not even 5'1".
Oh no.
I'm 5 feet tall. So one day I'll be 5'1", maybe. It's out there. All right, well, that was my minisode. I hope you liked it. Tune in this Wednesday for a brand new full-length episode of the Everyone Sucks Here podcast.
We will see you guys on Wednesday for more stories.
Goodbye.
Absolutely.